It's another nice bright spring day after a few days of heavy rain, wind, sleet and snow. So it's great to come out and see what's happening in the garden. Here's the Rhododendron Ipheion that we raised from seed. Flower in there, the pink colour, if I come down, is matched by the Corydalis solida growing below it. Hellebores and colchicum leaves, yet more hellebores. So as we walk around, we can see here another ericaceous shrub, this time a smaller one, Vaccinium numularia. You can see the lovely fat buds that will produce the flowers. This thing bred that had all the Eranthus and the snowdrops, there's still some hanging on. In the shade here we still have some snowdrops looking still quite fresh, although they're just showing the hints of going over. Round to the side, clump of Trillium Corydalis, all around it, self-seeding. More little Trillium seeding all around it, which is what I want. I want not just mature plants in the garden, but I want that range, seedlings, all the way up to mature plants. In the front here, this was another shrub of the same Vaccinium of a spring round. There's the Vaccinium. That was another one there that I decided needed to be cut back. So I cut it back this year. But as is my habit, when I cut something back, I nearly always take cuttings from it. So more snowdrops there. We just pass around. If we look over at this side to the one of the sand beds over there, you can see the Corydalis, cyclamen comb. Looking nice. That's a group of Corydalis incisa. That's a form of solida seeding around in that trough, or raised, or sand bed as I should say. If we just spin around, you can to the garden around this side. The mushroom, the leucodium's gone over. Yet more Trilliums down here. But the big waves of colour just now, I can get my shadow out of the picture. The Corydalis beds. So the creamy Corydalis malcensis. And the various warmer colours, pinks, reds. In here there's a sort of purple, bluey purple. All the different colours. And they seed around very happily. And form these great swathes of colour, where a month ago we had the snowdrops and the Eranthus. Down here this Erythronium denscanus, that's one of the dark forms. More snowdrops and Hepaticas starting to come out here. I'll come round the Hepatica transylvanica. There's a group here at the edge flowering now, and there's more further into the bed that will flower later. It's just starting to get going. More Corydalis. Down here's the cuttings I told you I took of the Vaccinium. So that's when you cut back a plant, start it again from cuttings. Just as we walk round, looking into the strong sunshine, you can see how the Corydalis shine out when they're backlit. shine on the leaves. Soon you can see the brown patches of the mulch at the moment, but soon we won't see any ground at all. More like up there we can see. I just spin round here, a box of Primula marginata cuttings. They're flowering now, these really should be taken out. Ipheions, that's Rolf Fiedler. And here we have one of the earlier of the tulips, Tulipa turkistanica, flowering in this bed where we had the Iris reticulatus earlier on. So we walk round past the cobble bed, up there behind the cobble beds to the back below the bonsai trees. There's a whole batch of Hellebores seeding themselves around there. Going up, if you look back you can see the effect of the Corydalis in the backlight shining out. Just move around here and another trough. A dwarf, nice compact form of Primula marginata. This one's called Napoleon. If you look at the leaf, around our leaf, and we've got other wild forms which have got more toothed leaves. The first signs of the saxifrages coming out. Up in this slab bed, the planting I'm trying to establish to give me something flowering now with the Narcissus cyclaminius. Look how tiny they are, some of them. Some seedlings are really tiny, and Narcissus bulbicodiums. We'll just move past these just coming out of their winter state, so saxifrages just starting to come. We'll come round to some of the plunge frames. You can see already the Erythroniums. Many in good leaf. We come round to this side. Here's one in another form of Dens canis. Paler pink form. All the beds and the frames. Come round to this frame here. Look, there's always among the first of the, sorry about that, almost among the first of the American Erythronium Dopenus hendersoni. Trillium rivale down here, just starting to open in the frames. Round here, Corydalis Crichton red. I need to get my shadow away from it so you can see it. It's growing in here. It's not an ideal situation for it. It's under a tree and by the hedge. It's in a frame, but this is my basket for propagating it. Now here's an interesting, so this is Crichton red, and down here is a self-seedling from it, so it's not quite as red, it's a different colour. So fortunately the Corydalis solidas do increase by underground, so the bulb will split, so therefore we can raise them clonally. And just looking out across the garden, I love just the foliage, the way the light glistens and shines off the foliage, the sunshine. Erythronium beds, they're not spared the invasion of the Corydalis, but it causes no harm at all to the growth of the other plants, because the Corydalis will go down quite quickly after it's flowered. It'll set seed and it will go down. You can see the Erythroniums. This bed will soon be a month's time. We have a big array of colour. You can see other plants seed in, so we've got Mechanopsis all over the place here as well. Dark form. And down on the edges, coming into, I think it's third year now, this wee bed that I created just by planting up some Hepatica seedlings and some Corydalis seedlings. And it's really, I'm really pleased with how it's coming along. I love the different colour combinations we get with the different colours of the Hepatica. And again, the Corydalis leaves will, in about a month, or a bit over a month's time, they'll just disappear, and the wee Hepaticas will grow away. Different colours, pale ones, some very dark ones. Across the bulb bed, the rock garden bed, the more Narcissus cyclaminius, Narcissus minima. As we spin round to the bulb bed, more Hellebores, Fritillaria, Imperialis there, the flowering stems pushing up. You can see clearly the ones that will flower. Clearly the ones that will flower. And as we walk up, we'll just walk up, we'll see more. The trillium bed here is going to be alive with trilliums, but in the meantime, Corydalis with the Ophiopogon, the black grass. Here are the cardamine coming, and more trilliums there. Out here yet more trillium seedlings everywhere. Allowing plants to seed is one of my greatest pleasures. All these Erythroniums here, all self-seeded. So I'm just going to go up and through the gateway to finish up here. Just to share with you how the new bed by the pond's coming along. It's always exciting, a new bed, because I never quite remember exactly everything I planted. I'm waiting, having had the Erythronium caucasicum in flower and the Hepaticas, I'm waiting now for the Erythronium sibiricums to come through. So this is the excitement of a new bed, and down here on the edge I'm quite pleased with my little crevice that I formed just as the bed sort of spills out to merge with the path. There's Molly coming by. Molly, you're going to say hello to everyone? That's a girl. We'll just finish with you, Molly, because you're so pretty. So that will be the end. Thanks for joining me on this walk around the garden on a fine spring morning.